Alright, this is the first part of her area, if you take a look. As you enter the garden, here's one of the things that you begin to see. Here's your home, and we come into a beautiful sanctuary. And one of the things that we always promote in natural agriculture is using what you have for mulch. And she has grass clippings that have actually been dried in the sun, and this invites the worms, and it acts as a blanket for the soil and helps keep the dirt in place. It helps with erosion and enriches the soil. So things that are going to seed will be plants later on, and she's got trees with nice collars around them that are in the soil, and that's beautiful, with always mixing flowers, have the pollinators. This is a nice vine. It'll be fragrant, and we have chrysanthemums over here, and we have geraniums right here. You see the geraniums? Okay. And then this, I believe this is wormwood, but I'm not sure. I think it's something we can eat. We'll find out. Okay, then over here, more chrysanthemums, and as it's the end of September, you can see that the chrysanthemums are beginning to bud out for their flowers that are going to come in November. And I'm not sure whether this is the edible variety or not, but it's great. Then we have a mint patch. Now, a wonderful thing about a mint patch is that it likes a lot of water. So I would change the lay of the land a little bit here and maybe put that where a hose is so that it gets all the water it wants. But that's a great little peppermint patch. It could become an entire ground cover across here if she wanted it that way. Now as we enter, wonderful entrance. Here's the entrance to the garden. There's a beautiful little Eden here. And we look over here, and as Srilan said, that all of these plants here are for flowers, basically, right through here in this little planter area. Now for me, I would say one of these areas is really great to just put in a patch of one kind of thing, like a ground cover, oregano, rosemary, or mint. Then we look over here, and what she told us was that these were basically flowers and volunteers, and that this particular flower right here is has a Chinese name, that the flowers become a jam. That although they are sour, you add honey or agave or stevia, and it becomes a wonderful jam or paste. The flowers do. So that's what we have there. Then we come along and we look, and this entire area is flowers, with the exception of soybeans, which were volunteers. And so the soy is volunteering, and that's fine. Then as you see right here, this appears to be a nasturtium right here, which is my great weed abatement, but it really is not a nasturtium. I'm going to have to bring her some nasturtium seeds. Now if we look at the lay of the land, and when you see all of this right here, this is the foundation of the brick wall. And right now she's been below the foundation. We want to bring her up. And so what we're doing is we're changing the terrain to be able to hold the soil by bringing the soil from over here to the wall, to be able to cover up the foundation and bring it up to about the second brick. Sweetie pie, we want to be able to bring it to here. Okay? We're going to use this as the line. Okay? So, and then eventually we'll put a...
No, we don't have enough soil.
Yeah, we do.
Yet.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
We will.
We will. It's a work in progress. So, rather than spread it all the way out, I was trying to get it in one section. But that's the line that we want to go to, is right where that line is. No, not yet. Yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah, it could actually go up to this one here. Would be better. Masayo? Messiah, this brick right here would be best. And it'll just be a mound for a second, but then we'll put some brick or something right through here. But when we take it up that high, you've got a foot between here, the foundation that's next to the wall, and you bring it up to about here, and here's a weep hole right here. See a weep hole, and that way you'll have about a foot and then much more beneath of good soil that will raise this and be able to plant here good things.
Would we plant? What do you recommend to plant?
Oh, I always recommend that the perimeter trees. That way you're bringing shade to your neighbor and not too much. If the sun rises over in the east, then this is the north exposure here. And the sun is shining over this way, over the house, and into the garden all day long, all the way across for the most part. And so we'll put the trees along this wall, which is south facing, and it'll get plenty of sun, and it will begin to make a nice canopy between the next door house and your house. They'll have a nice view of plants, and so will you. Okay, so over here we have basil going to seed, and we have a lot of Swiss chard. It was her first time, and she cut back a whole lot of Swiss chard because she didn't know what to do with it, but that'll change. And over here we have yams, which is very ingenious. All of the yams that you see along this entire length of property, which looks to be about 80, maybe 60 to 80 feet, is what she's using for a ground cover. So it's not producing the fruit. What it is producing is beautiful, beautiful yams. It's producing everything that we can possibly see. The leaves are becoming the ground cover. So she cuts the leaves and she puts them on the soil. And this becomes the mulch. The more mulch you have, the less weeds you have. That's the beauty of natural agriculture. Then we have a loquat tree here. We have some citrus right here. And another citrus right over here. This particular citrus, what we'll be doing with this citrus is cutting it back and opening it up so that the sun can get to it, can get into the center of it, and cut back any dead growth and just trim it up so that it's real good. Then back here, what she's doing with the extra branches is she's using the extra branches to hold up the winter melons. So you can see right here, up underneath, there's some wood. And that's from the lemon tree. But all of those sticks are holding the melons up off of the ground. And she's got some great melons. Wow. Look at that. That is just gorgeous. Gorgeous melons right there. Way over there. Ah, beautiful melons. Beautiful melons. They're everywhere. Everywhere. But they're all hidden, which is a wonderful thing. So the other thing about this is that you can see that this has kind of a curly leaf disease going on. And by cutting it back, it'll sort itself out because that's the natural agriculture way. But if you look, you can see that these guys definitely need a little bit of help because they just got curly leaf. See? That's a curly leaf. Alright, so when we have a dig-in, we invite everybody to come along, and we're doing a beautiful thing. So people are carrying dirt as they're redoing the topography, because right now, if you look here, everything is going downhill. And downhill is going toward the house. Toward the house is not a good idea, because if we have El Nino, if we have a torrential downpour, then all of this moisture is going to go to the foundation and to the home, and that's not a good thing. So what everybody is doing here right now is they're removing the soil and taking it over to the perimeters over here. They're removing the soil and carrying it out And then we will dig a trough right through here to actually make it level, and then maybe a 2 to 3 degree pitch from here at the foundation, so that the angle is going toward the middle. So we could create a lake effect. Okay? So there you have, this is the garden. Over here we've got lots of lettuce. Her share and somebody else's. Some beans and some chard. Beautiful type. She has red chard, she has white chard, and she has rainbow chard, which is yellow and orange. And these are beautiful things. So we're good. And everybody's doing a really great job while I cron this. We're not going to disturb these 3 rows right through here because they have plants in them now, and we don't want to mess with those particular plants. Over here we've got other things. We're not going to mess with this section at all today, other than the tree, and possibly this little area right here. But we've got a whole row of beans and a whole row of lettuce and another whole row of basil and some more basil, and we have okra, and we have beautiful, it's a beautiful kind of squash, cucumber something. And it's right here. You see here? That is a beautiful fruit, that right there. Look at that. Is that beautiful? Yeah. And it's hairy and speckly and beautiful flowers. Bees are everywhere with it. Very, very nice. Very nice. Excellent. Okay, enough said. Now I'm going to get back to work. Because everybody's working. And it's beautiful. And there's just 2, 4, 6, 8 of us right now. Imagine what it would be like if we had 20 of all of us here doing this. It would be great. So our goal, once again, is for the NaturaGrow Garden Club to become larger so that we can help each other and share and exchange our ideas, our skills, our seeds, our plants, our love, and our love of the soil. Everybody has food where they live. And we have a few other things that we may be doing today, as in installing some beans, and some cilantro or parsley, and other things. We have gifts to give. Annie brought apple trees. Those are apple trees. There's about 9 of them in there. I brought aloe vera. I always give people aloe vera because I have a forest. These are shade lovers, so we'll make sure that they stay close to the shade. And all of these areas here, just beautiful. Just beautiful. Alrighty. Enough said. We'll get back to work. Now this is the before. When we get to the after, you'll see what we've created, okay? You guys take it easy. This is Celestine Barnwell signing off for the NaturaGrow Garden Club.
That's allowed.
Hey everybody, turn around and say natural agriculture.
Shovel.
They say NaturaGrow. We love NaturaGrow. And be wild here. Be wild. I'm filming this. You're on YouTube. Yes.
Yes. Oh no, not YouTube.
The NaturaGrow Garden Club as it expands. Here we have our founders. There's Annie. Say hello, Annie.
Hi.
There's Annie. There's Ron. Say hi, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
And Masayo. Say hi, Masayo. And Aaron. He's wonderful people. And these are our garden club members. Shilan. And husband. Eba Wong. And what garden is not complete without the dog? There's the doggy. Doggy. All right, everybody. Say, we got to get to work now. Talk to you later. Bye-bye now.